Hello, we continue basting our lining into our bag. So now we're going to pay attention to the side seam of our lining. Again, tucking thread. I'm going to start here and going to place my line, make sure it's all flat here. Use my other tucking from here, that side, as a guide. Now, because we had pinched here a little bit, so we pinched about about 5 millimeters. So we need to distribute that amount along that area. So I'm going to make it my lining. So I'm going to use that fabric here. Okay. So just be careful you don't pull your fabric, you don't pull your lining. Okay, you need to make sure you've got plenty of the lining here. There we go. As you see, just distributed that nicely. Then we fold our seam allowance along the pleat line and just go over that. So I'm going to, like in the middle of, going to cover that, so I'm going to the middle of my pleat. Keep all my seam allowance absolutely fine in the lining. Make sure it all lays flat. Again, I don't pull lining at all, so that's one thing you have to remember. Seconds, so make sure it's all flat. Okay. Now I'm going to stop here because I need to get into the seam allowance with my hem first. So I'm going to fold it. So as it is there now, fold that over. So you've got quite a lot of seam allowance. You can trim them, by the way. You don't have to be that long. So mine is extremely long. So you can trim them to leave only 5 centimeters. So I'm going to maybe small one as a way to do. You can do that. But I still got plenty, you know, all my seam allowance here. So 5 centimeter seam allowance I still got on each side. And I'm just going to fold it that over. Okay, so if I just turn around so you can see better, see what I've done. So I'll fold it over like that, and make sure I don't see any lining from that side. So that seam will cover it. And I'm going to put pin here. That's it. Now that side again. So fold nicely, and I need to make sure it matches with this lining here, which is coming from that side. Okay, so I'm just going to place it on something more high so you can see better. Like this. So now fold that over here, and then I need to make sure it matches with this lining, so it's nice continuous line. Okay, this, and then just continue a couple of pins actually to help you to make sure it stays in place. And flat. Like this, yeah, perfect. So I'm just going to continue tacking that to my plate. Make sure it don't see any of the excess of the lining. And that. Now I'm going to tack across. So make sure it doesn't pass your top fabric. So I have about 6 to 7 millimeters, I think, from the top edge here. I'm going to keep in place. Turn around, just so you can see what I'm doing. And tucking down. That's perfect. So I'm just going to finish that. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to look and I'm going to try to perfect stuff. So the one thing I like is to be consistent, and see I slightly go over, so the measurements, the distance between that and that is slightly different. So I'm just going to undo that and move slightly away. I really like when it's nice and identical there. So I'm going to even measure that so you can see. So we've got 2.5 here, but I definitely can say is slightly, it's actually, it is for 2.5 as well, but maybe here is slightly. Yeah, so I see it here's to 2 centimeters. Yes, so start there. So I need to move slightly away so you can see that. So please do make sure yours one is absolutely accurate and precise. It will look much nicer and it looks pretty. So it looks good. So that's where we can identify good quality of the tailoring by having all these precise measurements. So I'm going to unpick and slightly move that out of the way. So if you have that exactly the same like that, please pay attention to that. Okay, so I will show you the next stage in the next video then. Bye.